Hi, I'm Lachlan from B Medical. Today I'm going to be demonstrating a number of BMC products for your information, care on the products, some features of them, just to give you an overall understanding of how the BMC products operate. So in this video demonstration, I'm going to be doing an unboxing of the BMC G3 series device. The BMC G3 series was released in January 2020 and it's available in CPAP clinics and pharmacies right around Australia. Remove the bag from the box. You'll see here on the bag there are three different handle options. You've got a handle on the top. Back of the device, you've got this one here for carrying luggage, and this as a shoulder strap, of course. Unzip the bag. So in the top of the bag here, you'll find an instruction manual. This is the device itself. Now this device is available in a black shell or a white shell device. So both the same, purely an aesthetic choice if you want the black or the white shell, but I'll demonstrate on the black shell for this video. So all BMC G3 series devices come standard with an inbuilt heated tube. I'll go through the humidifier setting first of all. So the humidifier on the BMC G3 series device can be filled directly at the device itself. Just carefully pour some water in here up to the maximum fill line. Close that down and you're ready to go. If you wanted to take the humidifier chamber to the tap for cleaning, you push down and that's spring loaded there. So the heater plate is spring loaded. That'll allow you to take the humidifier chamber off, open it up, fill it at the tap, or for cleaning it, turn it on its side and flush the top part with warm water. Just make sure no debris builds up on the heater plate. To put this back on, line it up, push down to click. The filter options on the BMC G3 series. The standard filter that's built into the device is this foam filter. So this one here, take this one out for cleaning, clean it regularly, weekly or more regularly than that if you've got a lot of debris building up. Make sure that's clear of debris. Pop that back in and that just pops there on the back of the device. As well as the standard filter, you've got a PM 2.5 fine particle filter that comes standard with the BMC G3 series devices. So this filter will filter down to 2.5 microns. So dust, pollen particles, that sort of thing. So for patients who have asthma, that's a great option for them. That just plugs straight onto the back of the device like so. The heated tube pops on there. And this part plugs into there. As an option for the BMC G3 series, you have an oximetry sensor kit. So this is a finger probe, and the other end of this plugs into the device, like so, and then the probe sits on the finger. Once that's attached, you don't have to change any settings on the device. It'll automatically generate as part of the report. So you'll have both heart rate as well as blood oxygen saturation. But an optional accessory, the SpO2 finger sensor. The device has a 24 volt power charger. So that one plugs in there. The device will also operate with the Metastrom Pilot 24 battery. So that's a 24 volt battery. If you're taking the device traveling, that'll plug straight in there with the adapters that are already in the Metastrom kit. So we'll get into the features now of the device and the interface. So there's three buttons on the device. You've got a button on the top for power on and off. You've got this directional dial, and then you've got a home button. When the device is in a standby mode, it'll bring up a nice clock display so you can tell the time. And that'll go dark after about 10 seconds or so. And when you're sleeping, the screen is completely dark. In the home screen interface, you've got a number of different options here. Left-hand side, you've got a preheating option for the humidifier chamber. So that'll count down from half an hour, warm up the humidifier chamber so when you're ready to get into bed for therapy, you've already got warm water. Next option there is some accessories reminders. So this will tell you the amount of time you've been using your air filter, your tubing or your mask for, and you'll get an alert on the device to let you know that it's time to change those components or just make sure that they are still operating effectively. Next on here, you've got mask. So you select the particular mask you're using, whether it's a nasal mask, a pillows mask, or a full face mask. Make sure that's selected correctly. And you can do a mask fitting test here as well. So the mask fitting test allows you to make sure that there's no leaks with the mask. You pop it on, pop the mask on your face, hit that mask setting option, and it'll make sure there's no leaks. It'll give you the thumbs up, so you know you don't have to change your cushion or anything like that. In the reporting options, so the most basic way of viewing the data on this device is through a usage summary that's generated on screen. So in here, it'll give you some compliance data, some basic statistical information, so your apnea-hypopnea index, any leaks that's occurring. If you're using an automatic pressure machine, it'll tell you your 95th percentile value as well. And you can view that different periods of time, whether it's the previous night, previous week, month, right up to 365 days of collated statistical information that's generated on the screen right here. If you're looking at generating a report for a physician or for your clinician, you can come across here to the iCode report. So in this option, you've got a QR code that's automatically generated on the screen. Using a smartphone app called BM Cares, which is available through Android or Apple download, you can put your details into that app, set an email address in there, and then scan the code on the device. That'll generate a report on the screen of your device. It'll tell you all the current settings of your machine, as well as it'll generate a usage summary report, which you can then send on to a physician or your clinician so they can make sure that your therapy is efficacious and that you're compliant with it. Getting into the settings now of the device, this is just the basic settings, so things that you're able to change yourself. The humidifier is the first option that comes up. Now the humidifier can be set manually, 1 being the coolest temperature for the heated plate, 5 being the highest, and you can also set that to be automatic. When the humidifier is made automatic, it also makes the heated tubing automatic. But if you're setting it manually, I always recommend setting the heated tube to be a warmer setting than the humidifier to ensure that by the time the air gets to your mask, it's still kept warm and moist. Ramp time on this device, you can ramp up to an hour. So the time it takes you to get to sleep, you set that accordingly. If it takes you longer, usually when you're using CPAP, set it a bit longer than you would normally take to get to sleep. Just come in here and set that right down to off if you don't want any ramp time, 5 minutes, goes up in 5-minute intervals. You can also have the option of setting the ramp time to be automatic. When ramp is made automatic, the device will detect when you start to get into a light stage of sleep, or if you start having events, if you start experiencing any apneas, the device will start increasing the pressure from there accordingly. So that's when it's set automatically. Standard 22mm tube. So this tube here will fit any standard 22mm mask. So most of the brands of masks in the Australian market have a standard 22mm connection. So you can use this with BMC mask or any of the other major brands. The delay function here, this is a drying function for the tube. So when the delay is on, it'll just blow gentle air through the tube at the end of therapy to make sure that there's no condensation that occurs. So the next time you pick up your mask, you don't get any water droplets in it, so that when that's switched on. You see that standby screensaver that's coming up. If I switch that off, it'll no longer generate on the screen and you'll just have this screen the whole time. But if you want a clock display, have the screensaver on. There is a Wi-Fi option for the BMC G3 series device that isn't available as standard. However, if your clinician or physician wants to see your therapy remotely, if you want that extra level of service, then you have the option of getting a Wi-Fi module for the device. Date, time, those sort of things are in here. There's also language options. So there's a number of different languages that come standard with the device. If you speak a language other than English that isn't in here, we can get a file and include it in there for you so you can set that particular language. Usage time, and then some information about the device itself, serial number, that sort of thing. So those are the basic settings of the BMC G3 series device. For care and maintenance of the device, make sure there's no debris building up on the heater plate itself. Take it to the tap often to make sure that it's cleaned and flushed. If you're ever moving your BMC device, make sure there's no water in the humidifier chamber, because you don't want any water spilling back into the device and creating a mess or potentially damaging the circuitry of the device. So always move it with an empty humidifier chamber. All BMC G3 series devices have a 5-year warranty as standard. If you ever experience any issues with your BMC device, please contact your BMC provider.